a brand new speed build for you. Now, this one is actually a part of a July collab. You may have noticed from the title, it is called the Braswell July collab. And now the Braswell are actually the family that is going to be living in this house. It was created by Artistic Simmer. And so what she did was she posted a video on YouTube making the family and create a sim, and then she posted on Twitter saying, hey, I emptied out all of Willow Creek and I want, you know, whoever wants to build in there to build in there, and we will do like a really big collab. So I believe there's like 23 people, I want to say. I think there's like 22 lots, and then obviously she's involved with it, so it's around 23 people involved in this. And this was the lot that I picked, mainly because I haven't built in this lot before, and it is a size that I really do enjoy building houses in, so I had a really fun time doing this. And, you know, we have a group chat over on Twitter and on Discord where we all kind of talk to each other and we figure out, you know, what we want to do and who's doing what, and kind of just getting to meet everyone, learn their styles and all that kind of fun stuff. So it has been really cool. I am one of like the later people that I believe are actually getting their video like posted and built and out. I know a lot of people have already posted videos, and they will all be linked down below if you want to check them out. I have everyone's Twitter, Instagram, Discord, whatever, YouTube, all the content, wherever they post content, their links are down below. So definitely check all of them out. It's really cool, really great content, and everyone has been making really fun and interesting builds. And this one is mine, and I really do love how it turned out. It is just a typical suburban house, I feel. At least that was the vibes I was going for. But the interior has a little bit of a twist, and you will definitely notice that once we start to actually build inside. So what I did and what I decided to do was to build the house itself, the lot and the gardening, landscaping, all that kind of stuff, without any money restraints or anything like that. But then when it came to doing the interior of the house, I actually brought in a 4-family sim, or 4-sim family, because the house is made for 4 sims. I brought them in so that way I can only have that much money to furnish the house, and it was really, really cool, and I did like it. So quickly, I guess I will talk a little bit about the family and why, you know, I limited their funds and all of that kind of stuff, and why I built a suburban, everything like that. So basically, we have, actually, I'm not 100% sure what all their names are, so let me look that part up. But the dad is he's a working dad, somewhat of a workaholic. Oh wait, I have screenshots of it. I was trying to like pull up the chat, but I have screenshots of it. And sorry if I'm talking kind of quieter. My fiance is actually home right now, and typically he is not home when I do my builds, and so it makes it a little bit more awkward, but it should be okay. So we have Dad. His name is Alton Braswell. He is the father of the family. He's a businessman and puts his career before most things. He isn't home often, but tries on occasion to be a good father. He is active and tries to look his best for his wife, so his wife will be happy. He's a perfectionist when it comes to work and his workplace. And then his wife is Melody Braswell. She is the mother of the family. Looks and outside opinions mean everything to her. So she really mainly just cares about what other people think of her and not what her family thinks of her, or, you know, what's actually going on. She just wants everyone to think she's the best, that she's doing great, and all that kind of stuff. Whether they have money or not, she wants it to seem as if they do from the outside. She is normally just a housewife who spoils her toddler. She has tried to work here and there in writing or painting, but never sticks to it. She'd rather stay at home, drink some wine, and gossip with friends and family. So just a very typical suburban housewife, possibly, you know, marrying rich for the money, isn't 100% into the relationship, but is there because it gives her a good status. And so that is why we did build a suburban home today, and why I built it without money restraints. So it was kind of the idea. I built the house and I did the landscaping and all of that without any money restraints, and then they bought the home, taking out a whole bunch of loans and not really having enough money to actually furnish the house how it would like to be and how they would like it to be done. So when it came to furnishing the house, you'll see how it all looks, and it turns out really crazy, and we'll talk about that more when we get to the actual interior. But then they have their eldest daughter, London Braswell. Her parents had her when they were very young. She was able to be the flower girl at their wedding, and her mother thought she was the most beautiful little girl. Though nowadays the relationship isn't what it used to be, London isn't really close to either of her parents. She is more laid back and creative than both of them. She's absolutely loves K-pop and, J-pop. She is into like Korean pop, Japanese pop, that kind of stuff, and tries to base her style after the famous artists that she is influenced by. Her mother strongly disagrees with her style of clothing and disagrees with her style of clothing, is honestly embarrassed by her daughter at times. She hopes to be in a career that involves music when she gets older. So London is, just really kawaii and fun and colorful and just wants to be an artist, wants to do music, wants to do all these crazy fun things. And her mom's like, no, we're a traditional family. You're not into that. You're going to be a cheerleader. You're going to be the captain of the cheerleading team, all that kind of stuff. And she's not really into all the crazy musical things and all that kind of stuff. And then we have the youngest. His name is Randall. Randall is the baby of the family. His mother absolutely adores him and does everything to make sure he ends up being a young, proper man. She feels she was too relaxed with the sister, and that is why now she acts a little bit different and is more strict and more controlling with him. But Randall is okay with it. Randall is super clingy and definitely a mama's boy. He loves his mom and is basically obsessed with her. They are very close, love each other. And as a toddler, he is still very needy and he needs his mom for a lot of things. So his mom, in a way, takes advantage of that to ensure that, he becomes perfect and is just how they want him to be and all that kind of stuff. The family has its ups and downs, but they are still together for the most part. They are a family of 4 that they have thought about growing, but this is just a maybe. From the outside, they do truly seem like a nice, happy, and wealthy family, but all families have their secrets. So basically, that is what Artistic Gamer or Danny gave us to go by, and that is what everyone was given. All 21, 22 people that are building houses, that's what they were all given, and they all went out and built a house that they thought of, in the style that they thought of, and, the story that they had created with that. And for me, I took it as, where they are a close family. The mom worries more, though, about what everyone else thinks, and this is why we built this cute little Suburban. I'm going to say this 100 times. We built this cute little Suburban because, but we built this, and we furnished it. I did the bathrooms, I did the wallpaper, and I did some of the kitchen in the mindset of when you buy a house, those things are typically already done for you. You will have a fully furnished bathroom, with a shower, a tub, a sink, a toilet, and all that kind of stuff. Your floors are going to be down, all of your wallpaper is going to be down, and so that is why we're doing all of this with still the money cheat or no descending money. Now originally I was going to make the bathrooms look a little bit worse, but as you can see right here, I did change the wallpaper. I think I only did it for the downstairs bathroom because I felt like she was working with the contractor, and she told him, okay, the upstairs bathroom, you can put in a little bit more cheaper things, but in the downstairs ones, I want them to look a little bit nicer and to go with, the kitchen. And so, to use maybe nicer tiling and nicer wallpaper, so that way, when a guest would come over or something like that, they could see that it is nice in there, and, they have money, and maybe typically the guests don't go upstairs, that kind of thing. Now, something really awkward about the layout is I wanted to give the dad an office, and I kind of realized it was a mixture of me making the house a weird shape and me not making it big enough, I don't believe, that the dad really didn't have an office. So I tucked it away, and I tucked this stairway in there too, which I feel like you don't really see. That's not something really typical, how his office is set up, but he does have an ensuite with his office. Just because he is kind of a workaholic, I feel like he would spend most of his time between the office and the bathroom and not really have the time to go all the way upstairs or want to walk around to the public bathroom through the kitchen. So that is why he has his own little bathroom there. And then the one connected to the kitchen only has a toilet and a sink in it, because it is more of a powder room where guests would go to relieve themselves and not necessarily somewhere that they use crazy often. So now we're into me actually having money that I need to work with. And let me tell you, I spent just about all of it on the downstairs, and there got a point where I wasn't completely done furnishing the downstairs how I wanted to, but I looked at how much money I had and I was like, oh my gosh, they don't have beds, they don't have an office, we need to like actually make this house livable. So as you can see, I did make them buy their appliances, because typically when you do buy a house, they don't come with appliances, or the house tends to be more expensive if they do, and I felt like they probably couldn't afford a house that came with appliances. I don't know, I wanted it to seem a little bit more realistic, like they had to order new appliances and buy them. So we did do that, and I also gave them a dishwasher, which does, take a decent chunk of money out. But I felt like she really wanted to look wealthy and nice, and when I think of wealthy and nice, typically it's dishwashers. So nowadays they are becoming more common in some cultures and aspects of life. They aren't that crazy common, so I wanted to give them a dishwasher. And as you can tell, we are spending a lot of our money and a lot of our time on the downstairs. I go for a really yellow and white color scheme, kind of to show that she is clean and she is nice. And, her kids maybe don't play down there a lot. Her kids aren't, touching things and getting markers everywhere and just being kind of gross and nasty. Like, she's able to keep clean, nice, white things because she doesn't let her family interact down there. This is a showpiece. She wants the house to look nice when guests come over. She wants the house to look nice from, like, the window. She just wants people to think they have it really nice and are really well off. Now, something I did kind of regret was that I wasn't able to really furnish the patio and give them like a barbecue area or a bar or anything, because I did really feel like they were the type of people that would have, a bar or a barbecue in their backyard, because it is a pretty nice backyard, but I wasn't really in the budget to be able to do that. So maybe possibly down the line, if you play with the family, they earn money and that's what they're going to focus on next, not necessarily the upstairs. Because let me tell you, when we get to the upstairs, it is a whirlwind, it is a mess, it is really crazy, but I really do love it. I think it suits the family, and it was a really fun and different style to actually decorate a house in, because this isn't how I typically design my houses. If I have a budget, I'm going to spread that out throughout the whole entire house. But with them, I felt like they would spend their budget on the downstairs to make it look nice, make it feel pretty, make it feel extravagant, and then not really worry about what's going on upstairs, if it looks nice, if it's good, and all that kind of stuff. So you'll definitely notice that once we start to transition upstairs. And there was a point where I did start to use a little bit cheaper things downstairs too, to kind of help to make sure we had money, but I also still wanted them to look nice and fit the color scheme and everything. And I really do love this house. Originally, like I said, the layout is kind of weird and I was a little bit thrown off by it, but I honestly wouldn't, I might come back to this house later on and refurnish it without any money restraints and kind of stylize it more how I would, because I really do love how it looks and how it turned out, and I think it's really fun. I think especially what I like is the kitchen area, and I actually have been doing similar techniques with that with my my townhouse builds that should be coming out next week, I believe. I did start them. The shell of the townhouses are up on the gallery if you want to check those out. It should just be called Season Townhouses. My ID is ofmisfitplays, always linked down below. And so that's kind of the style that those are going for, kitchen wise. And so it's really fun to actually decorate one in this house, which was really cool and really great. So everything is done now in the formal living space where, she entertains her guests, lets people come over and lets them see. And then we have now the dad's office that is kind of just tucked away a little bit, kind of excluded. I feel like obviously from the family there is a door to the rest of the living space, but he is connected to the upstairs and has his own bathroom to need, as he sees fit. But everything's kind of tucked in this corner, and then I add a divider here, and this is kind of when I realized I didn't have a lot of money left. But since the mom is a stay-at-home mom, she kind of just does a whole bunch of hobbies and collects things. And that's kind of what I wanted to do over there, but like I said, I ran out of money, and so I had to decorate the rest of the house. So here I am, just quickly throwing in furniture in the rest of the house. We gave the daughter that really cheap used bed from City Living, and I like that little aspect. I felt like it was very kind of Japanese, Korean inspired, and the fact that it was used means that our parents just kind of gave her a hand-me-down. And then, you know, just kind of a colorful light. All of really fun, just kid stuff. And then here in the toddler's room, I actually spent a little bit more money, I do believe, in his room than her room, because he is the pride and joy of the family, and the mother adores him. I felt like he would have a little bit more than the daughter would, though I didn't get to decorate the walls so much, which was disappointing. I wanted to. She may have more things, but I feel like that's just because she is older. They're not necessarily nicer things than his. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it for today's video. It's definitely different than what I typically do. As you can tell, you know, none of the walls were painted anything fun. There wasn't a lot of stuff hanging, but it was really just a show house that this is what the family wants people to think they are. But then if you go upstairs, you realize it's not what they really are. And I really feel like I was able to get that vibe across. But we are on the screenshots now, though, so I am going to leave you guys. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and check out all those videos down below. I will see you guys all again next time.